YouTube here. Hello.
Hello.
How is it going?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. And we're
Yeah,
live.
so all the stuff is still
I don't-
in boxes somewhere.
I don't know if anybody is able to even hear. I don't know if anybody's joined or not. Let me take a look. So what's new on that side of the planet?
It was nice out today. It was a little bit sunny.
It was nice here today too.
And it warmed up a little bit. So yeah, it was I rode inside though. I rode the trainer.
I'm ashamed to say I didn't ride today.
Well,
that's I didn't. I'm ashamed to say I did not ride. It was
that's why us professionals separate ourselves from you amateurs.
That's correct. You're the reason. You actually, while I try to get this up, you're the reason the spirit of gravel is dying. Did you see one of the gravel pros, Dylan Johnson? He said that the spirit of gravel is dying.
Why did he say that?
Well, so because I guess gravel's changed now that people are fast and this and that, and this too cutthroat and competitive. So the spirit of gravel is dead. And I'm like, well, I think maybe for the pros, but I think for the rest of us, we're still going out and enjoying these gravel races.
I disagree, because I mean, aren't they starting isn't there a new race in Kansas, Southeast Kansas, that they just started up?
What's that one called? I don't think I've heard of it.
I forget now. I just saw a blurb on it not too long ago, just today. And they're like, yeah, we something miners, like corn.
No, I haven't heard that.
But hey, how about Lachlan Morton? Did you see what he did?
That guy is a beast. Yeah, I'm trying to mute my microphone here.
400 miles in 18 hours.
No, that guy is a whole different beast, to be honest. Did you watch that? You watched that video? They did the recap of him, right?
Of
when he rode around Australia.
No, I didn't see that one yet. No.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and we're actually talking because obviously he did Tour Divide really, really fast.
Yeah.
But then the
without
distance
brakes for part of it.
Yeah, and the distance I did for around Australia was even greater. But I mean, you put him on a road bike and you put him in aerobus. I mean, yes, it's a huge distance, but I think in a way the toughness of Tour Divide, now having to deal with weather, nutrition, and all that other fun stuff, just kind of, made it a little bit.
What was he supported doing that?
Yeah, it was supported. Yeah, and I think it
was like 14,000 kilometers or something.
Yeah, unbelievable numbers. It's just mind blowing. In some of the heat that he was riding through, that guy he's a beast. He's a beast. But you're
not a heat guy. You wouldn't fare well in the heat.
I think if I've been riding, if I'm acclimated, I can, definitely. If I had to do like an unbound, and it's 100 degrees, no. I'm probably DNFing. I'll give it the best I can, but I think that hit would kill me unless I've been
I'll
doing
ride
some
in front of you with a little mister on my back.
Yeah,
Coming down the
yeah.
water, misting you as you ride to help you out.
How one of those and just kind of sprays you, keeps you cool. Yeah, no, because I remember last year when I did Heiko, I got there. It was cold here. I get to Texas and I think it hit 90 the first day we were there.
Yeah.
So we went for a training ride with Carol, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. I'd signed up to do the 100-miler, and I was like, there's no way I'll die. There's no heat acclimation.
Yeah.
I'll get cramp, and it would take me, 10 hours to go 100 miles. And so I decided that's scrap it. I did a 60-mile, and even the 60-miler, about 15 miles ago, it got hot, and I was feeling it. Most people were feeling it too.
So I guess the opposite of the heat is the cold, and I guess Lael Wilcox is going to start the Iditarod here.
I know. I don't know what other people think. I can't do the.
I have no interest in doing the Iditarod.
No, right? And you get lost out there, you're dead, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the wolves will eat you.
Right, yeah, the wolves will eat you, or the polar bears or something. No, absolutely not.
What was his name? Steve Cannon.
Yeah.
Were you there for his talk at the bike shop that one day? He came in and talked about it and like pushing his bike, and he was pulling out like little Reese's peanut butter cups, but they were frozen, and he's like chomping on those. He's like, he's like, he had to like put them in his jacket for a little bit to warm them up, and then he could eat them.
No, that's not my idea of a bike ride. I just, even here, I'm ashamed to say I haven't taken my fat bike out once.
You didn't do the race today?
No.
Or was that yesterday?
I think it was today. I had some chores to do. I'm taking the Bigfoot down to Des Moines to get some brakes replaced and some other work done. And I needed to put the battery was dead, so I needed to put a new battery in there. Yeah. I needed to put the house battery back in there, and just because next week, not this coming week, next week I'm going down to Turkey, Texas for Valley of the Tears gravel race.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see here if we can take a look at it. I had it queued up, but yeah, this one here, I made a video about it, but it looks pretty cool. Like a lot of like the terrain looks cool to me. I'm curious to see what the town's like. It looks like a small town from what I could see.
Yeah,
but pretty, and there's look at the prize money. You think I'll get any of that?
Probably not.
So unfortunately, I wanted to do the fatback race, but I just didn't have time. I just didn't have time to get it set up.
It was a time trial. You should have you could have done it last week. Just put your time in.
That's right.
Baker.
And also,
right there, buddy.
Yeah, and I think it got like to 50 degrees today. So I think it might have been pretty slushy out there today.
I saw some photos on the gram.
Yes.
Jarrett Leak.
Yeah.
They got a good photo of him doing it.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Jarrett, the mechanic down there. He's got the.
Oh yeah, yes, Jarrett. Yeah. Yes. I didn't know the last name, Jarrett. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out there, huh?
Where's the? They threw a few pictures out there. Baker was in one of the pictures.
Yeah.
I think I want to say Rage was one of the pictures.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I didn't have time. Maybe next time. Next time.
Should have sent you on down there to crush it for the ladies.
I think. They went to a game today. They went to a game, so they didn't get to it. Yeah. So did you see Silca released a new sealant?
Did they? No, I didn't see
Yes,
that.
sir. They're super secret. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So they have, I'm a big fan of their sealant, and you're not.
No,
You're a Silca hater.
no.
Did you change?
Yes.
Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So
By your recommendation, I looked at Silka,
yeah,
and they said they've got really good product for road cycling.
yeah,
So I decided to put some in my road bike because I was having trouble because in a road bike you're running really high pressure.
yeah.
And on my particular road bike, I run really high pressure because I'm still running skinny tires.
Yeah. Old school.
My bike I can't get any bigger than like a 26.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's old school,
Oh, that's right. Is that the steel one?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
26, huh? I
So
can't even remember what that feels like.
I've got like a millimeter and a half on each side of that tire, maybe two. And so I did the Silca I put it in the back because I had some issues with I had to put a new back tire on.
Yeah.
I got a flat. I put the Silca on there and it's working great. And
I'm telling you. So their version 2.0. So that was one of the things people like. I'm a big fan. Not sponsored. Although I would love for them to send me 5 bottles. That should help me out. That should help me out for a little while. But the problem with their old stuff, when you injected it, you're a mechanic. It was just so you had to pour it in. You had to pour it.
Oh yeah, you got to take up.
Yeah,
yeah, you can't pour it through.
No, so they'll fix that in this version 2.0. They'll fix that. So that's really cool. So you can inject it now. They still don't recommend it for the Fillmore, those valve sims the Fillmore valve sims. But yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool product upgrade there. And they said the carbon fiber, now they're more strands than instead of the chunks, so that's why you can inject it.
Yeah, I did do the Fillmore valves on my gravel bike.
Yeah,
my other gravel bike, my latest gravel bike.
I was gonna take a picture of us going live and send it on put it on you on the great YouTubes.
What do you think of the hair, man?
Your hair looks wild, man. Your hair looks wild.
I don't know. I'm starting to get a little tired of it.
It's gonna get hot here. You're gonna have to to chop it off.
I may do that. I'll probably wait till it gets warmer though. But yeah. So I wrote just a few things down about that. Lael doing the Iditarod, and then Lachlan Morton doing the doing that 402. It was like 402.6 miles, and I think it was 18 hours and 20 something minutes. I can't remember 100%. But that was a long day of riding.
That's to me still kind of unbelievable.
So are you still doing the Trainer Road?
No, I switched from Trainer Road. I'm using now Wahoo System X.
Okay.
And so, when I was doing the Trainer Road, I honestly thought I didn't like the way the plans were structured. I felt like they did a lot of, even though I put, I needed endurance, I felt like a lot of the stuff was more about like tempo rides, so I feel
Yeah.
like I was tired all the time. And I feel like my FTP wasn't going up. So I tried another app called Humango. That's I told you about
Yeah.
that. That's AI. And
Yeah.
that one was also good, but it definitely felt like AI. It definitely felt there was no personal touch behind it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And finally, I settled on Wahoo System X, and I've been using that for the last all winter now, actually. And I've been really happy with it. It definitely feels like you have a personal coach.
Okay.
And really, what I really like about it, it literally feels like somebody you're paying a coach 250. I don't know how much, $250 a month for coaching, and not only that, I think it's like 15, maybe $17 a month, but it also includes strength training, which I've been doing in the winter, and also on top of that, also stretching and yoga and all those body recovery stuff, all for
Okay.
that same price.
So what's a week routine look like? What do your rides look like?
So usually I'll do about 10 hours, but that's involving, probably about 2 hours of weightlifting and yoga and all that stuff. And
Okay.
they have you doing stretches. It honestly feels so personalized
Yeah.
that it's one of those uh, training solutions that people don't really talk much about, but I think it has tremendous value. The fact that you get, recovery, mindfulness, to work on a breathing, stretching, recovery programs, and your bike stuff. I think also if you're a runner, they have running stuff too.
Yeah.
But typically it's about 4 to 5 days of biking. They'll do a mix of aerobic stuff, and I'll see if I can pull it up here, but they'll do a mixture of like high aerobic and then tempo stuff. It is absolutely well done. So you remember those guys, Full Gas and Sufferfest? So they bought, I think, 3 different programs and put them all. So all those workouts are under.
So Full Gas
Yeah.
was picked up by Ruvi.
Yeah. Oh, I thought
So
I heard
yeah, so it just happened about a month ago.
that. Okay.
The Ruvi bought Full Gas and I did Full Gas last year. I
Yeah.
really liked it as a training app, I guess what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because I really like watching the scenery of just like going out and like I'll give you an example. I was looking for a place to ride and it said the 5-star trail, and I was like, wait, what is this? So when I lived in Pennsylvania, there's a trail called the 5-star trail, and somebody went out and videotaped their ride on the 5-star trail and
Okay.
downloaded it to Full Gas. So I just did that ride.
That's so
And
you really like that roving,
It was
huh?
awesome, because I can see like, hey, this is where I rode. I rode
And-
that trail 1,000 times,
Yeah. And you feel
So-
like so what are you using for do you have a computer? Are you use an iPad, or how
A
you
computer.
computer? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Ruvi bought Full Gas, and I'd been thinking about doing Ruvi because Ruvi is so I like the interaction with kind of like Zwift, but I'm not a fan of Zwift. Zwift to me looks like a video game,
Yeah.
and Ruvi looks like you're out on a ride and you got a couple of people riding with you.
Yeah.
And it's really so. I just started doing Ruvi probably 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I haven't done a workout plan with them. I've been using my Garmin workout plan,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to modify it a little bit. I'm not real happy with. I don't know that I like the Garmin, but I have been doing a little bit of reading and stuff about it, and a lot of people are stressing the zone 2. Do a lot of zone 2 stuff
Yeah.
to really do your recovery. And I was curious if you're doing, how much zone 2 are you doing, and how much, because
You know,
so the Garmin has a Tuesday ride is zone 2 for like an hour, and then Wednesday and Thursday are both kind of a strength building or a interval type of a workout, and then Thursday will be and Thursday will also be, no, Tuesday will be zone 2, Wednesday, Thursday will be like a strength type of a ride, intervals type of stuff, or tempo type thing. Friday will be like a zone 2 ride. Saturday's an off day, and Sunday's a big ride, but they stress you to be in zone 2.
yeah.
So
So for example, like I'll give you like one in a typical week. This week I only had. So let me pull up like one of my high volume rides. That was, so this week was like 8 hours and 8.5 hours. So the first day you did hour and a half, more like right under FTP. Well, actually, well below FTP. My FTP is 280, and I was down right around 210, like up and down. Never, not more than 40 watts there for an hour and a half, and then I went into let's see here, yoga the next day. Then the next day I did 2 hours of sub threshold, so 4 by 8s, right at FTP, and I was in 2 hours. That was a killer actually.
yeah.
And then the next day yoga, and then I did another 2 hours of almost that same workout, and then on Sunday I did an hour and a half of 180 watts. So like
Barely
like right at almost zone 3,
barely pedaling, huh?
yeah, right,
Like hardly
almost, yeah. But here's the thing, okay, and to be honest, the one thing that I'm speaking highly of Wahoo. When I've tried to follow Garmin's training plans. I've tried to follow TrainerRod, the Humango. This is the first training plan where I've been able to improve my heart rate zones and my power zones.
Oh, okay.
Like I felt fit when I used TrainerRod. I felt like, yes, I could go the distance. I used TrainerRod for Unbound, 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
But my heart rate and all those really never improved. And this is the first time I did one. It's called 4DP, for something program. Like it's not your typical VO2 max workout.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool how they do it. But I was, for the first time, even Garmin, because I use my Garmin watch also at the same time, and my computer on the Wahoo, and they both detected the heart rate changes, and I updated. So I really speak highly of it. It's the first one that I've been indoor training now, or winter training now, since 2018. Yeah, 2018, 2019. So really, I think it's a really good program. Very well done. Yeah. I would highly recommend it for those people that are looking to get there. Obviously, now it's too late. It's too late now,
So it's through Wahoo, right?
Yeah, through Wahoo, and you
Would
download
it be compatible with Garmin?
Huh? So you can connect Wahoo to Garmin and vice versa. I have not been able to push my workout from Garmin over. Like if I went and did an outdoor ride,
yeah,
I can't push my ride from Garmin over into Wahoo, although it's connected.
Yeah.
Now I can push my Wahoo rides to Garmin. So Garmin is now playing nice. But
Yeah.
and yet I think the other thing too is what I noticed, even though Garmin receives that workout with all the power, heart rate, all the data, cadence, it does not take into account into your training metrics. So like when it's looking at my day, I upload a 2-hour ride to it from Wahoo. It doesn't see it. At least for me, it won't show the your body battery was taken down for 2 hours because of ride. It won't account it in your fitness up and none of that. So
Yeah, because
I think it's just Garmin doing their thing.
you use your watch, right? You're still on the Phoenix.
Yeah, I still got the OG right here. Did you have the
Instinct.
Instinct? Have you
Yeah.
seen the new one? The new one has not this one. This is all one. But the new one has the color, full color screen.
Oh, I don't want all that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the instinct, and it still has the same great, amazing battery life.
You're like the tech guy, and I'm just doing as minimal tech as I can because, well, I can't even get the computer to work hardly. But
Honestly, I haven't upgraded my Garmin Phoenix in 2 years now.
yeah,
And reason being, I'm kind of like fed up, I think, with some of these companies, to be honest, with how, I mean, the price, of the Phoenix is getting out of hand. I mean, I think it's $1,000, maybe 1,100 now.
yeah.
I'm like, I can't buy a new one of those every year. Like that's a new set of wheels.
Mine's mine's probably 4 years old, maybe 5, because I got it before I left Iowa, and I've been away from Iowa for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I think you got it right before you guys left.
This is funny. I just thought of this. So it's been, I think this is the 3-year anniversary of when I did the Triple D should be coming up.
Yes. Is that the one where you almost won?
That's the last race I did.
That's right. You're supposed to come to Heiko last year.
I know.
And you didn't make it.
Yeah, when family people pass away.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. Somehow I thought you abandoned me for something else, but that's right. It was more important than bike racing.
I was supposed to go to Arkansas, or no, not Arkansas. Arkansas.
What are you doing,
Big Sugar?
Oh, Big Sugar.
We were supposed to do Big Sugar together, but I left Iowa and was in North Carolina trying to put my house together.
That's right.
It just got to be too much.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So have you heard of the term, that spirit of gravel? I know that I feel like I started hearing about it when the pro, like the World Tour guys came in and say, doing Unbound and these other races, Mid-South. And they started talking about the spirit of gravel. I'm just curious. I think for me, when even to this day, obviously I'm not winning any races, but when we're out on a gravel event, I still feel like people are still willing to help you if you have a mechanical. I still feel like people are willing to help you with water and nutrition, all that stuff. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on? Do you see gravel racing in the US? So increasingly, like a lot of races, Mid-South, I think, just announced that the pros are starting 10 minutes earlier than the rest
Yeah.
of us regular folk. Do you see any room in the US for independent gravel racing where it's just a pro only event? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think it would work? Because I'm looking at road racing here stateside, and I'm just how people, I feel like generally cycling as a sport is not huge as a spectator sport in the US. Do
So
you see any of these races coming up being like all a pro race? And do you think who's gonna fund it? Do you think does it exist without these mass participation events? Like
Lifetime seems to be doing a really good job of.
Yeah, but you still have regular people like you and I.
I don't think they can do. Maybe in the future they'll be able to do just the pros, but I don't think they would want to do that. I think having the amateur people there is helping. I mean,
yeah,
I still want to go do those races. However, the problem is Lifetime's got all these races out there, and those guys are putting. I mean, there's a lot of money involved, and for you and I, we still have to go drop $150, $200, $300 to go do this ride.
Yeah, which is.
I think that's what's going to hurt them. I know you got to pay for things. I mean, you got to have support there, and you got to have. So, I don't know. Maybe the price will have to adjust or just not as many people are going to do these big races, and maybe it'll go back to grassroots. I know,
and I think that's where we're headed. If I just look at a general landscape of gravel or off-road racing per se, I think it's going back to the grassroots. I think it's getting too expensive. It's now almost like a family vacation now.
Yeah.
It used to be back in the early days when we started. You remember, $10, $15, and I get it. Like the permitting process, the more people you have, the more complex. But I think some of these races are getting $300, $400, $500. Now there's some unique races that have, for example, if you do like Rebecca's Private Idaho, they're a little bit on the, I think it's like $400, but it's a 3-day stage race.
Yeah.
There's some food there. They give you food for I think 3 of those days. There's support. They give you there's aid on all the stuff, on all the segments, and most of that money goes into charity. Now I can't say the same for Lifetime. I don't know. I don't know where that money goes. I don't know how much goes back into this community, but you have a race like Gravel Locos where that goes directly to the fire department.
Yeah.
Of that town, Hico, and you could see where your money is going, and I think that's initially what gravel started out to be.
Well, Leadville.
Yeah.
I mean, the town of Leadville, I can imagine.
Yeah.
That Leadville race just kind of makes a lot of these smaller towns, that's their money for the year. That's like their big thing for the year, which is great.
Yeah. And after being, so I was up because Yvonne did Leadville this year. And after being in Leadville and kind of hearing, because I talked to some of the locals who were there for, I think, over a month. But with the money, some of the money that they make from the races, there's a fund for every high school graduate.
Yeah.
I think it's like $2,000 to go towards their college or what's it called? The like one of those community colleges, and so they're putting the money back in there. They make sure during the holiday time, no kid goes without a meal, no kid goes without a Christmas gift. So they're certainly huge, but I could see that that money is benefiting Leadville in a huge way.
Yeah.
And you could see it was really evident in how people treated you, how drivers treated you when they came across you out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You didn't get no buzzing, nothing. They're mutual respect because I think they all understand, hey, you're here to visit, you're helping our community, and vice versa. Obviously there's going to be some outliers, but the general majority of people, we had a pretty pleasant experience, and I think they just understand, hey, this is a big revenue for us. Please be nice to our guests, and they ask the guests to be nice to our people, our residents. So that's a really good thing to see.
Now that I'm here in Pennsylvania, they've got a gravel race series, and for Western Pennsylvania, we never had a big mountain bike race series.
Yeah.
There were a couple little ones here and there. West Virginia always had, I started racing, in 99, 98.
Yeah. Man,
and I would go to West Virginia.
That's like
every
60
weekend.
years ago.
Back in the 1900s, So I would go down to West Virginia to do most of my racing. Now I have seen that Pennsylvania has started it seems like a pretty solid gravel series, and I'm gonna try and start doing some of these smaller local races. I might try and hop down to West Virginia this year to do one or two, but I've also noticed that that Iowa gravel series. I'm curious how that turned out, but these guys here are doing a shorter version of it, like the one that I'm planning on doing in April. It's a 73 miler, So
I'm curious to see I have a tiny screen here that gravel series. I have a super tiny screen here. I don't know that. Let's see here. Let's see if but it's pretty impressive. Okay, there we go. Full season lawnmower.
Yeah.
It was really impressive what these guys did last year.
Are they rolling again this year?
I think so. So look at that. So $399 for the whole season.
So that's every race.
Yeah.
And there was
entry to 7 races.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen anybody else do it this way. This is really cool. And I tell you what, we did that Kelowna Horseshoe Gravel, which let's see here. So this is pretty cool that they have. So here are the races. You have Kelowna Horseshoe Gravel, Silver City Century. I won't be around for this, but I would love to do that. The Walk On 100. I'll Be a Holy Cow. Like these are all like fantastic grassroots. The Shoulder Cutoff, some of these I've never heard of. Glenwood Grub, I've heard of that. Fairfield Harvest Rush. Yeah, so these are all on my list of things, hopefully, that I'll knock off one at a time. The Kelowna Horseshoe Gravel was fantastic. That was like really good last year. Really hilly. We rode all those roads together.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. Do you remember when we did that gravel ride to Kelowna and we stopped at this bridge where people normally get married? And those old fellas that were out there having coffee out in the countryside. And so we did part of that section. When you get back out on the highway, you turn right immediately after that bridge. And we finished that gravel, but it was fresh gravel. And it was a headwind there, maybe 18 to 20 miles an hour the whole way to the finish line. Yeah. So it's me, Yvonne, Marcus, and 2 other ladies, and I could tell, we're getting close to the finish line, and the speed is picking up. Yvonne wants to beat me. She wants to beat me, and she's kind of pushing the gear. Marcus. And then we get out on the last maybe half a mile, and I was hanging on by a thread. You know, it was early
Yeah.
season. I was hanging on. She puts in an attack. I'm like, I think she's trying to leave me out in the dust. It took me everything to get back. And if she had just kept on the gas just for a little bit longer, she would have like that. I wouldn't have been able to get back. And I would, even with the sprint, I wouldn't have been able to bring her back. But that was her first mistake. I'm like,
Yeah.
when you attack, you gotta commit. Just go. You know. Oh, maybe she was starting to run out of gas either, but it was good stuff. But really, I like the Kelowna series, but really cool, true grassroots. You know, I like those old days of gravel. Yeah, I wanted to talk about. Let's see here. One of the, I don't know if you heard, but kind of a little bit sad. I know obviously things happen for a reason and this and that, but Gravel Locos, this might be his last year.
Really?
Yeah. It's not set in stone, but he said that this might be their last year. You know, he hasn't been riding his bike much since he decided doing the event. And it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. And typically a lot of pros show up for his event. But I think, and I can't say it's for certain, but I know usually there's 2 weeks between Gravel Locos and Unbound.
Yeah.
So in the pro circle, usually, excuse me, Gravel Locos is the official tune-up race for Unbound.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually people that do well at Gravel Locos end up finishing like, you know, top 10 Unbound. But this year, Unbound moved to a week before Gravel Locos.
Oh.
You know, so that was kind of, when I saw that, it was kind of disappointing because it was kind of nice seeing that the unintended symbiotic relationship there. Because
why did they move? Why did it move?
I don't know why Unbound moved. They've never been in that first week, the last week of May. They've always been in that first week of June. I don't know why they moved. I honestly don't know. So it was a bummer to see, especially I feel like when you have races that big, I don't know that race directors talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know? But I feel like Gravel Locos has been around for a long time and it's pretty decent. It always has a good showing of international and local races that you'd think somebody, a rep from Unbound, be like, hey, we're thinking of this date, you know, but maybe they don't care. I don't know.
The reason I never did it was because it was always like right before Tour Divide.
Yeah.
And that was like always my goal was to be ready to do Tour Divide.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So they moved it. They moved it, you know, that literal Gravel Locos is, let's see here. I'll be there. May something. May 18th. Let's see here. Yeah, May 24th is Gravel Locos. And then you have, yeah, the next week is Unbound. So that was kind of unfortunate to see. So I don't know if that was a factor. It's just like kind of poaching. I don't know. I could be speaking out of tongue here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully it comes back. I think it's done great things for the people of Heiko. But I also know, you know, Fabian wants to ride his bike, and he did mention he wants to kind of get back to riding his bike and maybe do some international gravel races and stuff. So I can definitely see that you need to take a break for a little while and come back.
Hey, you know, maybe somebody else will step up and take over for him for a while. You know?
Maybe. Yeah. So okay, we talked about Valley. Yeah, Mid-South. Yeah. So yeah, I want to talk about Mid-South because they everybody's always trying to get your data. No, we don't want, we don't want to allow any permissions. But yeah, so those guys are doing a start Mid South is doing it's separate start for the pros. So I don't know if that's what the reasoning is behind that. Maybe they want to separate maybe they're trying to do it different for the women can have their own race also. I think I don't remember. Yeah, I think in the past it's been all a must start. The women and the men start together. So everybody's kind of going that route. Do the pro men, the pro women, and then the rest of us model. I'm going to argue that my pro career of being gravelist is being hindered because I don't have the pro card. The only reason I could hang in the peloton, but now I'll never get a chance to hang in the peloton.
It is fun, getting sucked along there at 20 miles an hour.
And I honestly think that's only one of the reasons that really helped me cover a lot of distance when I did Unbound was I jumped with this group that I knew was just way too fast for me or what I could ride 200 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's a few other dudes in there that knew they were biting off more than they were chewing. But we covered 40 miles in no time.
Yeah.
No time. And once that was over, once I did the 40 miles, I'm like, all right, I have 160 miles left. And I knew that, we've done gravel worlds before. I've done over 150 miles. So I knew, I'm like, okay, this is attainable. But before that threshold, I'm like, this is a mountain too high. Did you see your favorite drivetrain? Shimano Q's is coming out with a completely wireless drivetrain.
I heard about this.
Right. What are your thoughts on that? I couldn't find anything on their website. Let me see if I can find something. But yeah, have you heard of anything? Gear?
Well, I heard that the Q's is going to be out. I heard they're doing a whole
Shimano Q's, right?
Lineup.
Yeah.
And then they're also it's looking like the XTR Di2 stuff might be happening as well.
So from what I heard, they're going. Well, I can't even find. I thought I saw it. Yeah, there is the drivetrain there.
Yeah,
but I thought they're coming up with one that's completely wireless.
Yes, I think so too. Yeah, I've heard that as well.
So, and I also thought I read somewhere that the reason they couldn't go completely wireless is because the patent SRAM owned couldn't allow Shimano, so they must have found another way around it or something. Do you know anything on that?
I don't know much about it. I've heard the same rumors as you.
Yeah, so I was just curious. Let's see, Shimano Q's wireless. I thought I saw. I could have sworn I saw something about it. Let's see here, bike parking. Yeah, maybe they haven't. I did see the pictures of. There we go. Right. No, this is the mechanical one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mechanical.
There we go. Oh, I thought they were coming up with a completely wireless one. Maybe that's it right there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's the rumor. I heard that they were going to have a wireless one as well. But I heard they were going to come out with a road version as too. Well, I thought.
Yes. Are you going to get one of those? No.
No.
Man.
No.
You gotta get one of those.
I don't. Right now. I'm in the market for I'm going to have to upgrade my mountain bike pretty soon. Maybe this year.
Let me know if you're selling it.
I'm probably going to be selling it, but I don't know when.
You have to ship it for free though. I'm not paying for the shipping.
I'll deliver it.
There we go. There we go.
I'll drive it
yeah,
out there and deliver it.
No, so I'm curious to see how that.
You know me, man. I don't want to go wireless. In fact, I heard some rumors that a lot of this electronic shifting and stuff, they think they've kind of went a little too far with it.
Why?
Well, it's the price.
Yes, the price is ridiculous. Yes,
all the electronic stuff is a little bit overpriced, and now they're
not a little bit, a lot overpriced.
Well, for some, for a lot for others, but they're talking about keeping those cables, which I've ridden the electronic stuff. It does shift great, but I mean, my cable stuff,
I think
shifts fine.
I think the price could be better. I honestly think they should. Obviously, they probably won't. As long as people buy stuff, keep buying the stuff, the price won't come down. That's almost certain. I would tell you this: being one of the crappiest mechanics out there, ever since I went SRAM wireless, I have not had to think of my limiting screw, nothing.
Yeah.
I just, the only maintenance I've had to do is like I'll get a chain after it wears out. And tubeless, get my sealant in the tires.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing a one by, no problems. Absolutely no problem. I haven't had to replace the shifters. On the cutthroat anyway, I hadn't do anything with the derailleur. It just works time after time after time.
Is your new bike transmission?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Did you notice any difference at all? Is it?
Yes. I'd say for me, it shifts more like, I would say, in my opinion, I felt like, the Di2 Shimano, a 2x gravel group set.
Yeah.
It shifts that like that.
Yeah.
For me, it felt crisp. I was like, man, this is pretty good. But again, like I said, it's kind of one of those things you install and then you forget that that's a part of like the bike. Obviously, don't forget to charge your battery.
Yeah. Well, that.
Yeah. Now I keep 2 batteries now on my bike.
Yeah.
Well, I carry an extra, but then the one that's in the derailleur. Because when we did the Hordai Country Rumble last fall, my battery, I have 4 batteries for my SRAM drivetrain.
Yeah.
And one of them was the oldest one, and I think it's like 4 years old now. And it's just not holding a charge, which is, I've charged that thing like hundreds of times. But I forgot to mark it. So I would keep putting it back. I was cycling through it. And when we were at the hot dog, literally we're a mile from the start, my tread, like it will read fine. And then as soon as you start rolling, it will recalibrate, like, oh, battery dead. I was like, oh, thank goodness I had a backup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just carry an extra one now. It's just no big deal.
So I've got, this road bike I have, it's an old 90s steel frame that I kind of did up.
You got a column shifter, the down tube shifters.
I got rid of all that stuff and I put carbon wheels on it, and
it looks nice.
It looks great. I love that bike now.
Steel is
I put a 10-speed drivetrain on it because the hub spacing is only like 130 mil, for the back. Yeah. That's why I can't fit the tires and stuff on it. But
for reference, what's the hub spacing for a mountain bike, a modern mountain bike, like a Top Fuel?
Oh, they're going to be boosted at 148.
Whoa, so a full 30 mil is smaller.
And even the road bikes now are like 135.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
So
mine's even smaller than that. So and
yeah.
I actually the hub that I have, because I got a newer DT Swiss hub, I
Yeah.
actually have to like pull the frame apart in the back to get that rear wheel in there. It'll have to
Holy
spin it a
cow.
little bit.
Is that good for the wheel when it has that much tension on it?
It won't hurt it. I don't
You
think.
probably you probably avoided your D2 Swiss warranty there.
No, it's fine. It's
You're
fine.
mechanic, you'll fix it.
It's fine. So I was gonna put an 11-speed shifters on there.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, but I couldn't. Finding 11-speed, like I wanted to get a top end thing, like a higher end group set for it. But I was
Yeah.
going to try and get a used group set for it, but I couldn't find an 11-speed. Everything was Di2 or Axis. So I ended up going back to 10-speed. I found some used SRAM Force front and rear derailleurs,
Yeah.
and I got SRAM red hoods.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all cables and it shifts.
You know that SRAM red stuff, the cable stuff, that was good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That was like really good drivetrain stuff there.
The cranks I got are SRAM red, and there's a little bit of noise when I'm like cross-chained in the big ring to the big ring in the back. It's you really don't want to be there, but it's a little bit of noise there, and when I'm in the little ring in the front and the little ring in the back, there's a little bit of noise there, and so you really don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So that's my road bike. My gravel bike is GRX 810.
Yeah.
And it's just cabled, and it shifts great. I've never had an issue with it. And then
you don't have any issue until you go do Rebecca's Private Idaho stage 1.
Why?
Then you wish you had the 530% drivetrain.
Oh, going uphill.
Yeah, I'm telling you that was, and I'm thinking you should come with me. We should go do Rebecca's Private Idaho together this year. I want to go. I want to go back.
Where is it? When is it?
I think in the fall somewhere.
Oh,
so you have plenty of time, But the 3-day rest format to me is one of the best, most fun times I've ever had on a bike.
Is it mountain biking?
The first day is like so this is what makes it really unique. So you have the first, and I don't know if they've changed a little bit of this and that. The first stage 1 is 45 miles, which I believe 25 of that is all mountain biking, like legit 20% grade, like mountain bike stuff. Like this, it's the real deal. So there's a cutoff. If you don't make the mountain bike section in a certain amount of time, they don't let you finish the rest of that.
Oh,
you just not going to be able to make it, because now you got to hightail it, get out in the open desert, headwind. And at that point, obviously, you gas from, 25 miles of like legit mountain biking on a gravel bike is serious. Because most gravel racers have a big engine, but the punchy ups and downs are, create a different set of challenges for your aerobic system and your legs, surely. But they don't let you, if you don't cut off that time, you're done.
Yeah.
There's a shortcut there. You head back to the lodge and wait for the bus to take you back to the start. But I made it. But it's just that the feeling of, it's pure fun. You're like, it's me against the clock. Obviously, you're not winning anything, but you're winning for your own right.
Yeah. So, well, bragging rights,
Yeah. But it's fantastic. So you have that amazing, you get to push your gravel bike to the limit. And I think this is where the modern gravel bike really shines. And you won't, I think most people won't respect their gravel bikes until you put it on a course like that where it shines pretty well on whatever you put it at, right?
And what bike were you riding?
Cutthroat.
Oh, you rode the Cutthroat on the mountain bike section.
Yeah. So here's a kicker. You have to finish on the same frame and fork that you started on.
Okay. So why did you do the Cutthroat and not your Top Fuel?
Well, because then the next days stage 2 is a hill climb.
Ah.
So you go uphill as fast as you can. And then stage 3 is 100-mile or 50-mile or 50-mile of the first 10 miles are all uphill up to a mountain, I think it's like.
What's everybody riding? Are everybody riding gravel bikes?
I saw some people on mountain bikes, but pretty much everybody was riding a gravel bike. And the modern gravel bikes are super capable, and obviously, they're a little expensive, but I think if you do this kind of stuff, you get to see the value and some of the stuff of what the modern geometry can do for you, the compliance that's built into the gravel bikes.
So you would do the Checkpoint this time?
Yeah. But this time I'll probably put a mountain bike tire on there. Because right now I have a 50 mil Bitasso, the Bontrager tires. But I'll probably do, like one of those, the Continental, I'm probably do that Conti, like a 2.1, get that. And then I think the bike would do fantastic.
Your Checkpoint can do a 2.1
if it's dry. If there's going to be any sign of moisture, I would not recommend anything over a 55.
Yeah.
You're just gonna ruin your frame. Like if there's any mud, you're gonna ruin your frame. But if it's dry, like it was a year, then it's just dust. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be flying down those mountains, and it's gonna be good times.
So I can do my ECR.
Absolutely. And really cool.
Run a 2.2 tire on there.
It's the first day it's always interesting because you run into roadies that have a pretty decent engine, but then the technical just kind of it just kind of slaps you. Even after you survive the mountain bike section, it's pretty loose and stuff. But
I could do the Krampus.
Yeah. Have you seen let's see, have you seen that drive train, the folk from Cane Creek?
Yeah, the inverted one.
The inverted one. I don't know.
I'm surprised you don't have one of those.
Not the vineyards here. Look at this. Ridiculous.
I've been telling myself I'm surprised Aria doesn't have one of those yet. I bet if you had the cash flow running around, you'd probably have one already.
If the accountant would authorize it, I'll silently get one. But
it's always the accountant's problem. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find their website's busy, man. It is absolutely okay. Shop Folks, there we go. Let's take a look here. There it is right there.
Yeah.
A little pricey. Look at that.
Yeah. What's the weight? What's it weigh in at?
I think it's pretty all right. So now the tech that comes with it's pretty interesting. It has they have the invert CS. For the CS stands for climb switch. Okay. Now the little switch to lock it out completely. And once it's locked out, it's absolutely locked out. And that's 1,100 grams.
Yeah.
So not bad. For 40 mil.
3.5 pounds or something.
Yeah, so 40 mil travel, I believe. And then if you get the one without the climb switch is $1,000. Well, 1,100, yeah, it's 1,200.
What's
30
the
mil
travel?
travel, and that's 990 grams.
What's the travel?
40 mil for the one that you can lock out, 30 mil for the one that you can't lock out.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't justify it.
That's expensive.
It's
You know?
expensive, and I don't think. I mean, 40 mils of travel.
Well, especially when you can get 20 mil in the Redshift stem.
Yeah, I don't like the Redshift stems though.
Well, you Redshift.
I love their grips.
I'm a big fan of
I like their bar tape. I could not get used to the Redshift stem. I didn't.
Yeah, so this is their stem here. They have a
Yeah.
pro one, which I've had in the cutter for 4 years now, and I love it. I don't like when you can't click on the full picture, you know.
Yeah, I had the Redshift on my Jameis.
Like
And,
you had the stem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I had it on that bike, and then I had it on. I put it on my cross bike for a bit, and I tried it on a couple of different bikes to see how I would like it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it wasn't something that I fell in love with, so I just kind of let it go down the road.
And I think, let's see here. I think Cane Creek also. Cane Creek has. They have a suspension stem also.
So
And theirs you can lock out.
So what do you think? What's the comparison between that Cane Creek and a Loft?
Well, the Loft is heavy, man. It's way heavier than the Cane Creek.
It is?
Yeah. And also you can't lock the Loft out. I know they say, huh?
You can't. No, you can't lock it out. But
yeah, you can. And I know they say that if it's not under a lot of chatter or force, it's stiff. But I'm like, no, like suspension. I feel like yes, it might be very minimal, but I think if you're on the road and people are like, going hard or something, you're gonna feel it. But so this is the Cane Creek stem. Now they've done one better on Redshift because you can lock theirs out.
Yeah.
So that's a a positive that they have going for them.
How much do those things weigh?
I think it's 225 grams. So
half a pound.
Up to 20 mil of travel.
That's half a pound.
Yeah, but up to 20 mil of travel, if you compare it with the Cane Creek fork, which is 40 mil of travel, yes, twice the travel, but like more than 4 times the price. I think this is still if you have to have suspension, right, on your gravel bike. Which for me, I gotta have suspension. That's just how it is.
I don't have to have suspension. Let's see here.
I'm responding to chats here.
What do they want? Is there anybody watching us at all?
Yeah, we got some viewers.
Really?
Yeah. If you have any questions for me or Jason, please throw it in the chat. We would love to hear what you gotta say. Do you think suspension on gravel bikes is a necessity or is it a fad? Or they're just trying to sell us stuff? Like, I honestly want to know your opinion. I know what.
No, so the Loft is 850 grams.
Oh, okay. So it's lighter.
A little bit lighter.
But it looks hideous.
Man, I saw so many of those on Tour Divide.
Yeah, no. I think it's okay. I don't like the design. For our viewers, let's pull that up for you guys.
I didn't mind what it looked like. It just felt a little bit weird in the in the corners and stuff, and braking, if you were going around the corner or something kind of fast and hard. And I rode the
Right,
loft.
yeah, because when you stop hard, it will kind of compress, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what the red shift stem does as well.
I've been riding the red shift stem for so long, I don't even notice that.
Yeah, you don't notice it anymore. I noticed it right away, and it's not something that.
Well, maybe some would argue, the superior riders don't feel that. We become one with the machine. You're lacking that. You need to become one with your machine, and then you be good.
I like my Salsa fire starter fork.
That's a good fork. Yeah.
I remember riding with you one day. I think I mentioned it to you. We were going along at a pretty good clip too. And I thought I told you I could look from my handlebars looking down. I could see that fork, just moving with the bumps ever so slightly.
Yeah.
And I was like,
just enough. Just enough to take the edge
just
off.
enough. And I was like, man, this thing is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'm responding to our viewers. We got some viewers. What are you going to be doing in PA? They're asking what you're going to be doing and what riding you're going to be doing in PA this year.
What kind of riding?
Yeah, mountain or gravel.
I want to try so that because I grew up here and started off riding here back in the 1900s. There's a lot of mountain biking that I want to try and revisit, but there's also a lot of gravel riding that I want to try and explore. I know my dad has a cabin up near State College that's in the middle of nowhere, and there's just tons of gravel riding up there, and it's a climby stuff, and I definitely want to get up there and explore.
One of our viewers, Kenya, is watching, and they live in Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania are you, Kenya? You want to let us know? Because pretty rocky up there, huh?
It's rocky in a lot of places, yeah, and it's hilly too.
Yeah.
I did a ride last week or the week before, and it was 17 miles with 600 feet of climbing.
It was, man, that's,
and then this
again. I tell you what, I remember like our last week in Leadville, we were I think fitness was starting to come back. I remember, I'll never forget this. We were on our mountain bikes and we were doing like a 30-miler that day. And from our campground, it was all uphill.
Yeah.
Like 15 miles on pavement, like really nice pavement. And then you get into the single track up there. I remember just getting on a slight 6%.
Yeah.
And it is amazing what these modern mountain bikes, especially the cross-country bikes.
Yeah.
That you lock out the suspension. It is impressive how fast those things can go uphill.
Well, that's my top fuel.
Yeah.
I lock that thing out anytime I start, especially if I'm in like competing or something.
Yeah.
Click, it's locked out, and I'm just going. The trick is remembering to unlock it at the top of the hill.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if you don't unlock it, it just ruins the rest of the ride.
Yeah, no. I've been happy with that bike. Although I feel like if I had to do Schwammergan again.
Yeah,
it would be nice to have the brand new top fuel. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do this, but you get it with the Have you seen the flight attendant system?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that
Get
seems
that?
pretty nice.
Oh, but the price on that is just
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. The only way I ride one of those bikes if somebody gave it to me for free.
yeah.
I'm in the suspension. But you get that super light components. That's the Schwamagan bike right
So
there.
what's your what's your what are you gonna do about it? You got a gravel bike last year. Are you gonna try and upgrade that top fuel? I mean, that top fuel is pretty old.
It is. It is. It really is. I don't know. It's it still has a lot of life left in it. I don't know.
It
We'll
does.
see. Yeah, we'll see. I need something a little bit, maybe more modern, lighter, maybe. So Kenya is from Chester County.
Oh, that's out near Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah,
The Philly cheesesteak, hey? Yeah, nice.
there's good riding out there. I don't think it's as hilly as as it is here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hilly out there as well, but I feel like the mountains are a little bit bigger here. But yeah.
Yeah, what's the so Kenya over here in the chat, I was kind of responding to them. They say they're close to Lancaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They're speaking your language.
Yeah.
I've been to Philly a long time ago once. I came up there, I did a road trip and visited my brother up there. Actually, yeah, I visited my brother and we kind of rode around and drove to New York and stuff. And it's pretty cool. But that's the only time I've been to Philly.
I lived in Lansdale for a while. So Lansdale's a little bit north of Lancaster.
Dirty Dozen this year. We put Dirty Dozen on the calendar for this year.
I'll roll it.
How far are you from where it starts?
Like 45 minutes.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
So we could sleep in our bed, sleep, and just wake up in the morning and load our bikes. And what's the distance on it?
It's like 50 miles.
Oh, okay. 50 hard miles.
50, 55. So there's so they do there's two heats essentially. So there's a race heat that's like limited to like 100, 120 people.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that are going out to kill themselves and race up every one of those hills. And then there's, I think there might be three. There's like a second group. It's like the B riders, and they're really not racing it, but it ends up being a race as well. And then there's like a third group that's just the party group that's just wants to do the all the hills because they're no joke. I mean, they're super, super steep.
Yeah, that'll be me. I'll be in the party. I'll be there just to finish.
Yeah, that's what you go for. So my friend Larry, he got.
I thought I was your only friend.
What's that?
I thought I was your only friend.
He's one from Pennsylvania. You're the only one in Iowa. Yeah. Larry's a monster on the hill climbs. I mean, he's just nuts. And he goes out and he gets points every year. And the last, I don't know, half a dozen years, he's been in the top 10. He got his best finish was like a year or two ago. He got second, I think.
Impressive.
Second or third. He's got a couple of fifth places, Yeah, so he's always doing well there. But that's his ride. That's really the only thing he does. He doesn't. I'm trying to get him to buy a gravel bike to do a gravel race with me.
Now you got and Philly's PA's got a lot of grassroots stuff. I definitely want to put a gravel event on my calendar for the East Coast. I definitely want to try something up there. Check out the gravel there.
Yeah, Philly has. I think they used to do a similar Dirty Dozen in Philadelphia. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's still going on or not. You know,
Nice.
Philly used to do, I don't know if they still do it. They used to do a cyclocross race in a junkyard. It's
Good.
worth taking a look at on YouTube. It is,
That's
what do they call it?
that sounds interesting.
Junkyard cross. Yeah, a Levi showed me this, and they're like
I don't
they're
know if
like
we'll get copyrighted or not. But
they're riding their bikes into the back of a van and out the side door of a van, and then they like you have to like jump off your bike and like climb over a car. You drive through the back of a yeah, check it out. It's pretty nuts.
oh my goodness, this looks ridiculous.
You got to have, I don't know how you don't have a flat tire after riding through there. Those guys they make really, really good bikes. Look, they're
They
going
make
through
you
a
go
car.
through a car.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know about that.
That's cyclocross.
I feel like I might pull something in the back. Oh, so Kenya says they have the Luca Waco Hundo in April. Pittston, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's out east there.
Yeah.
What's that look like?
I'm gonna have to look that up. And that's called
How do you spell that?
LULCK Waco Hundo. Very interesting name. Let's check that out. There it is right there. There it is. April 28th. Let's take a look at their 2020. Oh, it looks like they had a video open a new page there. Let's see if they have a preview. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's okay. That's the one that we're just watching here. Pretty cool. Now this is grassroots gravel right here. That's the stuff I like. That's and now I want to get back to is the grassroots stuff. It's just enjoying being on a bike and riding with new people, old friends. It's always fun.
I'll have to look into that a little bit more offline.
All right, we better shut this thing down. We've been going almost an hour and a half.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
High five.
Boop. Kenya, Yvonne, and everybody that tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in. We really
Yvonne?
appreciate you guys showing
I know
up.
an Yvonne. Is that Yvonne from
Yeah.
From Iowa?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yvonne from Iowa. Yeah.
Tell her I said hi.
Yeah. And then Kenya, I think she heard you because she's on there. Kenya from PA also. Thank you very much for joining.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. If you have any questions for us or any topics that you want us to talk about, please put them on follow us on Instagram, IO Gravel Gang, and send me a message and we'll note down the topics and we'll talk about them on next week's podcast. Yeah, if you have any time that you think is better for having this conversation, let us know. We're also talking about having it on Friday, so maybe around the same time. But Fridays usually things are warming up and people might be riding. So if you have any suggestions, please let us know. Send us a message on IO Gravel on Instagram or Mixed Services Podcast on Instagram, and we'll get we'll respond to you and we'll see what we can do.
Woo-hoo!
Awesome. Let's well, Jason, thanks for chatting with me, man.
Another one, yeah, man. I miss you, buddy.